Hi, I'm Main Wyatt, and I want to say a huge welcome to the 54th Annual AWGIE Awards. The Australian Writers Guild acknowledges the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of the land this broadcast is coming from, and they pay their respects to the elders past, present and emerging. Tonight is a celebration of the best performance writing Australia has to offer. An affirmation that the cornerstone of a vibrant entertainment industry is great writing, much of which is on show tonight. As the Guild enters its 60th year, we can be proud of where we've been, passionate about where we are, and excited about where we can go. Have a great night, and to all the nominees, good luck.
Hey Mark, how's your pitch going for Doctor?
Nine says it needs more doctors.
So, what story are we breaking today?
It's called The AWGIEs.
Oh, that's the Australian submarine deal with the US and the UK.
No, it's an awards show celebrating Australian writers.
Pass.
No, you can't pass.
What, would you really give awards to writers?
It's not really a realistic premise.
Yeah, especially in Australia.
Most Australians think Miles Franklin was a dude.
Yeah, they wouldn't know Tony McNamara's name unless he was playing leg slip.
Look, it's pre-existing IP. It's been running for 53 seasons. I think we should give it a go.
Does it have to be set in Australia?
Yeah, we could do a co-pro with the States.
Yes.
They're very insistent that it needs to all be set in Australia because they want to, what does it say here? They want to celebrate Australian stories.
Oh, it's your funeral.
Well, what's the log line?
Okay, you're gonna love this. On an ordinary evening, tens of Australian writers, haunted by a lack of recognition, hunch over their laptops in the hope that their lives might be about to change. A little bit.
Is there a B story?
They also have Twitter open in another tab.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Feels like there's something missing. Like, can we have obstacles or can we see them struggle?
What about the rise of SVODs threatening local content?
Needs to be bigger.
Okay, how about a federal government that barely funds the arts sector?
Bigger.
Okay, how about this? This is going to sound crazy, but bear with me. What about if it's set in a world where a deadly pandemic has shut down everything?
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, what are we seeing on screen though? Because, we can't just see writers.
Oh God, no.
Blech.
Yuck.
Could you imagine? Writers? Like, they're just like, oh, chips, no, Popeye, no, got some here.
I couldn't possibly use cell text.
Oh, I don't have any ideas.
I'll get some Screen Australia funding. I'll put your name down. Can I put your name down? I'll put her in the deck and ask Elena.
Give me an AWGIE.
Yes. That's it. That's the feeling. That's it.
That said, they are quite keen providers to appear on screen.
So we can't cut them.
Sometimes you have to kill your darlings, And we just established they're very far from darlings.
Well, they do have some actors to present the awards.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's a good save.
So who's getting these awards? Which films?
Well, what's an Australian film you've seen recently?
What was the name of that Australian film where the person befriends the magpie?
The Storm Boy.
No, that was Pelican.
Oh, the remake of Stormboy.
No, it was Pelican.
Healing.
It was a wedge-tailed eagle.
The Nightingale?
That was the protagonist's nickname.
The Real McCaw.
I was a macaw.
Well, it couldn't have been that Penguin Bloom. I mean...
That's it, yes, because the magpie's name was Penguin.
That is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Oh, well, do we have a streaming service on board? Netflix, Amazon, Binge, Disney Plus, Apple Plus, Paramount Plus, Coles In-Store Radio Plus?
Why don't we just go full Nolan and say it's IMAX or nothing?
Oh, Mark, it's not YouTube, is it?
There's nothing wrong with YouTube.
There's nothing wrong with YouTube. YouTube's good. There's nothing wrong with YouTube. YouTube is good. There is good stuff on YouTube. YouTube's great. Lots of cool talent on YouTube. Lots of cool local talent. Should be fostered.
So do we have an A-lister to kick this off?
Right, okay. Good thing you mentioned that. If I say the words NCIS Los Angeles, who do you think of?
Chris O'Donnell.
LL Cool J.
Even better. Only the creator of NCIS Los Angeles and the AWG president, Shane Brennan.
Who?
I don't know.
I've been called many things in my life, but never an A-lister. Thanks, guys. Welcome to the 54th Annual AWGIE Awards. I am delighted to join with you tonight from the Eastern Kulin Nation to celebrate the creativity and craft of Australia's finest writers. I had hoped to meet you in person this year, but the ongoing pandemic and the uncertainties of snap lockdowns has meant this will be our second virtual AWGIE Awards night. If there's a silver lining, it is that this virtual presentation brings together Guild members from all over the country and from abroad. It's been another tumultuous year for our industries and for the Guild. In July, we announced the resignation of our esteemed Group CEO, Jacqueline Elaine, who transformed our organisation into the powerhouse that it is today. Jacqueline took the helm in 2006 and worked tirelessly in the quest to protect and promote the interests of screen and stage writers. We extend to Jacqueline our immense gratitude and very best wishes. At the end of October, we welcomed our new Executive Director, Claire Pullen, who brings a wealth of strategic experience from her work with multiple unions. Claire will be a strong and fearless advocate for writers at a time of pivotal change in the screen and stage sectors, as the Guild approaches its 60th anniversary. And there is a clear fight ahead. In January this year, Australian sub-quotas were relaxed on commercial television, halving the number of hours of local drama, documentary and children's content. Over many decades, our Guild fought hard to establish those quotas. This government has eroded them and has to date failed to deliver on its promise to regulate streaming services. Without quotas, we run the risk of losing our national voice. To ensure Australian stories aren't swamped by foreign content, we need streamers to invest 20% of their locally sourced revenue in producing Australian content. But it is our playwrights who have faced perhaps the toughest time during the COVID-19 pandemic. Closed theatres, reduced seating and continued uncertainty have impacted their income and well-being. We have an announcement specifically for playwrights later this evening that I hope will inspire and encourage them and let them know that they have not been forgotten. Tonight's nominees are an exceptional group of writers who have created outstanding work on stage and screen. I congratulate you all and applaud your talent and your commitment to your craft. Thank you to our sponsors, in particular our gold sponsors, Media Super, SBS, Screenwrites and AWGAGS. Thank you to the Guild staff for all of your hard work behind the scenes in making this awards presentation possible. Thank you to our national judging coordinators and judges who have determined tonight's winners. And thank you, of course, to you, our members, for your continued support of the Guild. We are made stronger by our collective efforts. This evening, I have the great honour of celebrating one of the Guild's longest standing and most committed members. Life membership is the highest level of membership in the Australian Writers Guild and is bestowed on those who've made an extraordinary contribution to the industry. Rob George's career has spanned over 4 decades. One of his earliest successes was in 1988 when he won an International Emmy for the children's telemovie Captain Jono. He has worked as a writer, story editor and script editor on many iconic Australian TV series, including Something in the Air, the much-loved Silver Sun, MDA and the hugely popular Blue Heelers. Most recently, in 2019, Rob wrote, produced and directed the sci-fi thriller feature film The Battle for Jericho. For Rob, being part of the film and television industry has never been just a job. Anyone who has spent more than 10 minutes with Rob will have heard his theories on what can be done to improve the industry, his tirades against the villains, and his deep passion and enthusiasm for storytellers. For more than 40 years, Rob has worked relentlessly for the Guild, most notably as a national judging coordinator for the AWGIE Awards. is a man of principle, getting into his fair share of fights over the years, but always for the right reason, to get a better deal for writers. In 1993, to recognise his contribution to the Guild, Rob received the Richard Lane Award. Tonight, it gives me great pleasure in congratulating Rob as he joins an illustrious cohort of Australian writers as a life member of the Australian Writers Guild. And now, let me introduce another talented writer, Justin Olstein, a recent Monty Miller Award winner who is at the beginning of his career.
Hi everybody, my name's Justin Olstein and I was the winner of the Monty Miller Long Form Award this year for my feature screenplay Shoshana. I'm delighted to be here today to present the award for audio. So without further ado, here are the nominees.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the audio category are Crossbred in the Beginning, Declan Fay with Chris Ryan and Megan Washington. Performing the Past 1919, Kate Rice. The Right Fit Episodes 1 to 4, Ross Mueller.
And the winner of the audio category is Declan Fay with Chris Ryan and Megan Washington for Crossbred in the Beginning. Congratulations.
I'm actually in the room that Chris, Megan and I wrote and came up with the whole show, so it kind of seems appropriate. It's also a good place to start. Chris Ryan and Megan Washington, my two co-creators, co-writers, they were the composers and they were also the performers. You are two of the best people that I have ever worked with. Crossbred does not exist without either of you. I'm sure there's a joke about us all being the Holy Trinity in there somewhere, but you guys were absolutely awesome. I'll be grateful for the rest of my life that we got to make this together. Tom Wright at the ABC, you are, I know you don't take compliments very well because you're a dour Scotsman, but you are one of the best producers that I have ever worked with, and you were our spiritual guide and true believer. And also at the ABC, Kelly Riordan, Rick Kalowski, Richard Gervin, and especially Mario Spate, the music producer who helped put all the songs together for us. And finally, all the cast, you were just awesome and helped bring it to life. Thanks, everybody, and God bless.
Hi, my name's Mithila Gupta and I am so excited to announce the winners in the short film and the web series categories. So let's take a look at the nominees in the short film category.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the short film category are Ayan, Alice Sluter. The Last Elephant on Earth, Piri Eddy. The Mugai, John Bell.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Piri Eddy for The Last Elephant on Earth.
Wow, thank you so much for this. It's an incredible honour to receive this award and especially to receive the recognition of my peers. I'd like to thank everyone who read the script and offered such generous and insightful feedback. Thank you as well to my very talented director Johannes Lyons-Reed, to our executive producers Jen and Kyle at Change Media, and to all the cast and crew who worked so hard to help bring this strange little story to life. Thank you as well to my wonderful partner Katie for all of your support and for being our chicken wrangler on the day. Finally, thank you to the Australian Writers Guild for continuing to fight for and represent the voices of Australian writers. Thank you.
And now for the nominees in the web series category.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the web series category are Ding Dong I'm Gay, Season 1, Easier Said Than Come. Tim Spencer and Zoe Norton-Lodge. Love Bug, Season 2, Imogen McCluskey. The Tailings Season 1, Episode 5 and Episode 6. Caitlin Richardson.
And we actually have 2 winners in this category. So the AWGIEs go to Tim Spencer with Zoe Norton Lodge for Ding Dong I'm Gay Season 1, Easier Said Than Come. And also to Caitlin Richardson for The Tailings Season 1, Episodes 5 and 6.
Thank you so much to the Writers Guild for celebrating Ding Dong I'm Gay.
We've been writing together since university, and it's been such a pleasure to be able to work on such a fun and positive series that we now get to share with a worldwide audience.
And of course we couldn't have done it alone because we are enormous idiots. So huge thank you to Rosie Gray and Joshua Longhurst who spearheaded the project, as well as our amazing casting crew and the funding bodies like Screen New South Wales and Screen Australia who paid for frankly an astonishing amount of rosé.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy AWGIEs.
Cute. I think that'll do us.
Thank you so much to SBS for providing us with the opportunity to write and create The Tailings. Thank you to Screen Tasmania who supported us through the development of the project, and a huge thank you to Liz Doran who mentored me and taught me all about the craft of screenwriting through this process. I'd also like to thank Stevie Cruz Martin and the entire cast and crew for bringing our series to life. I'd also like to acknowledge my quality Tasmanian public education. If we don't value public education in this country, then young people miss out. Thank you very much.
The Richard Lane Award is the AWG's highest honour, given in recognition for outstanding service and dedication to the Australian Writers Guild. It is an award which, for the most part, is presented to an AWG member for their unstinting service to the Guild in the continuing battle for writers' rights and recognition. On rare occasions, however, the Richard Lane Award has been presented to a non-member, a loyal servant of the Guild who not only went above and beyond the call of duty, but in so doing embraced all that the Guild is and what it stands for. Tonight's recipient is not a member. She is a force of nature. In her 15 years as Executive Director of the Australian Writers Guild, Jacqueline Elaine lifted us to heights the AWG has never experienced in its history, into an organisation both envied and feared within the industry in its pursuit of writers' rights. Put simply, though there is nothing simple about Jacqueline, what she did for writers and the Guild goes far beyond managing day-to-day operations, as well as overseeing AWGACS and Scripted Inc. in her role as Group CEO. Her achievements, too long to list, and important as they are, tell only half the story, because the fight for writers' rights never stops, and this unstoppable force that is Jacqueline Elaine never stopped fighting, 24/7 for what she believed in, the importance of writers and what we do. It's what makes her special, and why we owe her an enormous debt of gratitude for her tireless dedication, her single-minded determination, and her fierce defence of writers' rights. It is my great honour to present the 2021 Richard Lane Award to Jacqueline Elaine.
Whatever I've achieved at the Guild, I've done as part of a team of committed, caring, hard-working staff, many of whom have been with me for a decade or more, and the myriad writers who volunteer hundreds of hours on behalf of their fellow writers. The President of the Guild and the Chair of AWGACS throughout my time have been inspiring and supportive, incredibly hard-working on behalf of their colleagues, and a lot of fun. In my experience, stage and screenwriters are a unique breed with more than their fair share of intelligence and self-deprecating humour. I've loved working with and for them, and I know my team have too. I've left the Guild with lifelong friendships and a host of great memories. Thank you for this award. I know how carefully it is given, so I'm incredibly honoured that you think I've earned it.
Hello everyone, I'm Leah. Hello? Hello? No one's there, Leah. No one's there. No, they're there, Dougley. They're there. Hello? Hello? Hello, I'm Leah Vandenberg, and I'm here tonight with Dougley.
Oh, yes. Hello. Hello everyone. Very excited to be here. in my home tonight.
Yes, we're both very excited to be here in our home tonight because we're here to announce the winners in the children's television categories. And first, let's see, done. Okay, first, the nominees in the children's television P classification category. What was your pick?
Oh, so sorry. I just got a bit excited.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Children's Television P classification category are Kangaroo Beach Season 1, The Shark Prank, Simon Dodd and Tristan Dodd. Pocoyo Season 4, The Remote Control, Lena Foti. The Wonder Gang Season 1, Are Jellyfish Really Fish? Wendy Hanna.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Lena Forti for Pocoyo Season 4, The Remote Control.
Thank you very much. This is a recognition of a journey of effort and commitment to fulfill a dream, call myself a writer. I would like to extend this recognition to everyone who helped me and supported me in this journey. I would like this award to be an inspiration for people like me who come from the diverse community and whose English is a second or third language. Australia is a culturally rich country, full of stories that have been heard and recognized worldwide, and that Australians and people all over the world want to listen to. Today, I would also like to call everyone to make an effort to support our creatives, our stories, our country. Thank you.
And now for the nominations in the Children's Television C classification category.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Children's Television C classification category are Hardball Season 2, Matariki, Amy Stewart. The Gamers 2037, Season 1, The Decision, Anna Fitzpatrick. The Strange Chores Season 2, Unmask a Shapeshifter, John McEachin. The Strange Chores Season 2, Wear a Mech Suit, Luke Tierney.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Hannah Fitzpatrick for The Gamers 2037 Season 1, The Decision.
Hello people of the internet. First off, I want to thank the Guild for this award. It is an honour. I want to thank Keaton Stewart, my co-creator, who years ago read a script that I wrote that was not at all appropriate for children and decided that I should write for kids TV. Still don't understand the reasoning behind that decision, but I am very grateful for it. Thank you to everyone at Ambience, Nine, and all our wonderful cast and crew who made The Gamers a reality. And thank you to everyone who has supported me on my writing journey. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hopefully that is generic enough that I won't get yelled at for missing anyone.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Rose Hamlin and I'm here tonight to announce the winners in the animation and television serial categories. And I thought, who better to announce the first category than an animated character? Wow, I look just about ready to sing some really annoying songs. But first, here are the nominees in the animation category.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Animation category are Space Nova Season 1, Pamela Barnacle is alive and well, Melanie Alexander. Space Nova Season 1, Seaweed Samba, John Armstrong.
And the AWGIE Award goes to John Armstrong for Space Nova Season 1, Seaweed Samba.
Okay, first a big thank you to the AWGIE for this award. It was great working on this wonderful homegrown sci-fi series with its distinctly Australian flavour and Australian voices. I want to thank the whole team at SLR, especially Joe Boag, Pablo de la Torre, and the indefatigable Suzanne Ryan, who's now working tirelessly to make sure Australian Kids TV continues to exist. Thanks also to ABC Children's and especially Michael Drake. I also want to thank all the other amazing writers on the series, including fellow nominee Mel Alexander, Charlotte Rose Hamlin, Joel Slack-Smith, Georgina Love, and Ben Levin. Most of all, I want to thank the incredibly talented head writer Tom Duncan Watt, who deserves a huge amount of credit for Space Nova's success. Finally, I want to thank my daughter Tess and my partner Maria for their incredible level of support. I share this award with them. Thank you.
And now, the nominees in the television serial category.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the television serial category are Home and Away, Episode 7433, Andrew Gardner. Neighbours, Episode 8328, Jessica Payne. Neighbours, Episode 8367, Peter Matesi. Neighbours, Episode 8498, Jason Herbison.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Peter Matesi for Neighbours, Episode 8367.
Oh, hello there. I'm honoured to receive this award from the Guild, an organisation which I love, and especially for Neighbours, a show which I love even more and is one of the great Australian television programs. Anyone who's worked on Neighbours or Home and Away or any soap in this country would understand that for one person to have their name on the script is an absolute fiction. Because this episode was plotted by Shane Isheev and Holly Tozzi. It was script edited by Renee Zandveld and Emma Steele, and it was overseen by Kate Bradley and Jason Herbison. Thank you to all of them. They were all part of this episode. They all created it, and I was just the one lucky enough to get to write it. Thank you.
Mark, please tell me you've secured some sponsors for tonight's event.
I didn't know I had to do that.
I think it was my job, but I totally forgot.
Oh, God!
It's all right. We've got 3 to 4 minutes to track down 10 sponsors. I just need help.
Charles, I make 2 minutes of content for the ABC once a fortnight. I'm very busy!
Well, who could possibly track down and contact all the best sponsors in such a short period of time?
Hey. Yeah, what's up?
Contact Tracy's, could you possibly please help us track down some corporate sponsors for this event that celebrates writers' achievements?
Oh my God, celebrating achievements is so embarrassing.
Yeah, like why do you need an award?
Just get some inherent self-worth.
Please, Tracy's, we need this. You're the only people who can track people down on such short notice.
Okay, your energy is stressing me out.
Yeah. Like, please chill immediately. We can find a bunch of corporations who care about socially anxious people who think that writing little stories can heal their childhood trauma. That's so simple.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, try ABC.
I've heard of that. Is that on Netflix?
No, they're like this really cute and old network.
Okay, they're in. That was easy.
Oh my God, my great-grandmother will love that.
Okay, I found this IP specialist who's pretty keen. By George Legal.
Whoa, congrats on coming out as bi, George.
No, it's like bi George. We don't know if she's bi.
Oh, well, you don't have to be bi. You can still be curious, George.
What about Media Super?
Oh my God, my dad will not shut up about how I have to consolidate my super with Media Super. And I'm like, Dad, I will consolidate my super with Media Super when you consolidate your issues with a licensed family therapist.
They're in!
Oh, great.
What about Afters? My older ex-boyfriend went there and he made this 11-minute short about toxic masculinity, but from the perspective of a male blow-up sex doll.
That sounds great.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely just made it.
He really did make it himself. Okay, wait, I found this company called Creative Content, which, wait a second, supports the screen industry by raising awareness of copyright and the impacts of piracy on creativity.
Okay, I'd actually like to talk to them because like last week I styled this amazing outfit and then 1 week later, my friend Jordana totally pirated it.
I don't think that's what they do.
Why not? Every outfit is creative content.
It's 2021. This is IP.
Like, think about that.
Is this IP?
Okay, well, they're in.
Yes! IP. Yeah. Well, who else could help us?
I don't know, like Australians in film?
Australians in film? All of them?
No, it's an organisation.
Yeah, I knew that.
So what about production companies?
Yeah, like surely they want to associate with an event supporting young writers so they can continue to receive unsolicited and deranged pitch decks that are all just like rewrites of the Joker, surely.
Oh my god, my older ex-boyfriend is trying to pitch this like 13x3 romance comedy horror web series for like Apple Watches with like nagging girlfriends.
Can I be honest with you? I actually think if you got his comedy horror romance web series up, he would actually re-fall in love with you probably.
Oh my god, who should I reach out to?
Oh, only the best. I'm thinking Matchbox Pictures or like Fremantle.
Oh, what, like Seesaw Films or Princess Pictures?
Yes, they do such good stuff, like not Vic and Jenna's comedy narrative series at all.
Well, it doesn't matter, they're all in.
Oh, cool. So they do have money to throw at things.
Yeah, I guess they do.
Oh, why don't we ask HLA, that theatrical management company?
No, I'm still mad at them because they rejected my ex-boyfriend after he showed them his Afters film. They said it was really bad, actually.
Well, that's not very constructive.
They don't have to be.
Goals. They're in, by the way. Why don't we ask Cameron's management?
No, that's the point. He didn't get management.
No, like the management company is called Cameron's Management.
Oh my god, my ex is also called Cameron. That's so funny.
What?
Yeah, I know.
That was a real who's on first moment.
What?
I think he's like referencing something.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like Abbott can say who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third, with the baseball.
Just let this one go.
Oh, guess what? I have an offer from the ACTF.
Yes!
People call me ACTF all the time.
Oh, what does that mean?
Actually called a
Oh my god, no. This is like a different ACTF. This is the Australian Children's Television Fund.
Oh, that is different from what I said.
Okay, the collecting societies are in, AWGIE and screenwrites.
What do they do?
Well, like collect money for writers.
Oh, I totally get that, because I once collected money for a cause. It was called Coney 2012, similar vibes.
I don't know. I guess that's similar. Okay, I guess I'm gonna hit up SBS for some money.
Oh, what for? Emotional distress caused by lag on SBS On Demand?
No, I'm reaching out to them because they broadcast unheard Australian stories by new writers. Oh, and they're in. Thanks, SBS.
Babe, what just happened to you?
I don't know, I just like blacked out. What, did I say something sincere?
Big time, babe. It's almost like seeing all these organizations like supporting young artists has made you forget the nihilistic simulation we live in called making art in Australia.
I hate that for me.
It's not it.
Okay guys, is that like enough sponsors for you? I'm like suffering from gratitude right now.
Yeah, gratitude is not good for our brand. It's actually world breaking.
Yeah, wow. Guys, I can't believe you did all that.
Yeah, and in 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
What do you want us to do with that?
I was just saying thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy's.
Writers are so off.
Oh, I know.
As a fan of documentaries, one of my favourite things about them is the kind of sprawling, ever-evolving storytelling, from the fact that they don't have a script, the fact that they just follow the natural story.
This is, it's the AWGIEs for, awards for writing. I think we're going to be talking about documentaries with scripts.
No, documentaries don't have scripts.
Yeah, they do. In fact, all of them do. And the best ones make it seem like they don't, which is what's so magical about it.
No, you can tell that the characters have these really authentic moments of realisation that drives the story forward.
Yeah, that's scripted.
No, it's too real.
No, I'm telling you, all documentaries have scripts, otherwise it'd just be nonsensical chaos for, ages.
It was in that moment that I realised that documentaries do have a script, and it blew my mind. All those times I'd watched a documentary and been moved so deeply by beauty, nature and humanity finding its own structure. But had I been manipulated? Had those stories been scripted all along? I had to get to the bottom of it.
What are you doing?
A voiceover.
What? But that wasn't in the script.
What script? There's no script. This is a documentary.
Oh my
Everything's
God.
natural.
Okay.
We're just following.
The nominees for the documentary, community, educational and training category are...
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Documentary, Community, Educational and Training category are Small Changes, Peter Flynn. The Case for Group Work, Students Give Their Verdict, George Katzi, Ari Kwasna-Katzi and Zach Perry. Water Safety with Kangaroo Beach, Tim Bain.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Tim Bain for water safety.
Hello everyone, this is a great honour, thank you very much. We're coming live from the very glamorous world of my kitchen table here. Very big thank you to the AWGIEs. Huge shout out to the Kangaroo Beach team. And I created this show to raise awareness of water safety for kids all around Australia and their families. And it's just great to see kids like mine enjoying the show and taking on those messages. And I dedicate this award to the lifeguards keeping us safe around Australia. Thanks everyone, bye.
Oh, nerve-wracking stuff. And now, the nominees in the documentary, public broadcast or exhibition category are...
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the documentary, public broadcast or exhibition category are Ablaze, Alec Morgan with Tiriki Onus. Firestarter, Nell Minchin and Wayne Blair. Playing with Sharks, Sally Aiken. The Skin of Others, Tom Murray.
And the AWGIE Award goes to... Alec Morgan with Tiriki Onus for Ablaze.
Hi, I'm Alec Morgan, and I'm the co-writer of Ablaze alongside my good friend Tiriki Onus. We are honoured to receive the 2021 AWGIE Award for Documentary, Public Broadcast or Exhibition. It's humbling to be recognised in this way, and we acknowledge the remarkable achievements of all the other nominees.
It was a long journey to get Ablaze from script to screen. We give special thanks to all those whose support got us here, particularly the owners and elders of the Bunurong, Wurundjeri, Yoriora, Ngunnawal, Kariyara, Ngarla, Nyamal and Darug peoples, upon whose land we've lived and worked throughout this journey.
It's an honour for me to present this year's Fred Parsons Award to a writer and performer who's not just a great man, but a good man as well, an honourable man. A lot of big stars educated in Australia with the help of Australian tax dollars say they want to appear in Australian productions, yet these promises rarely turn into a reality. But when Jungle Entertainment approached Tim Minchin to appear in Squinters, created by Trent O'Donnell and myself, Tim was all in from the start. He was there at script stage, his feedback encouraging and helpful. He was there during the grueling shoot, even as a virus was taking away his ability to speak. And just as importantly, and I can't underline enough how important this is, he was there at the release using the might of his social media profile to get behind the show. And beyond all that, he was also really good, and that's what this award's for. Yes, Tim's a mensch, but he's an exceptionally talented mensch. Tim's music, sketches, TV and cinema has lifted the credibility of Australian comedy. I mean, before everyone knew we could do low and middle brow comedy, but Tim's work on the world stage has greatly expanded the perceived flexibility of Australian comedy's brow. And for that, we're eternally grateful. Finally, to paraphrase Tim himself, before I become just another white motherfucker rambling on, talking too much and staying too long, I would like to present him with the Fred Parsons Award for outstanding contribution to Australian comedy.
Hello everybody, it's Tim here. Look where I am, in beautiful, sunny Nottingham. I'm in a very strange hotel, midway through my tour. I'm really thrilled to be the recipient of the Fred Parsons Award. It feels slightly strange, given that previous recipients include like Barry and John Clark and Gina and Jane and Denton and Magda Zabansky, people who I consider to be genuine legends of our industry, whereas I feel like I'm just trying to get started, although I suppose everyone feels like that all the time. I really appreciate it, and thank you to the Writers Guild for considering me worthy of this award, and it's lovely to receive it from Adam, who is a friend and a talented legend in his own right. I hope you're all really well. I can't wait to be back in Australia. Thank you, AWGIEs. Thank you, everyone. It's really, really lovely. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Luke McGregor.
And I'm Celia Paccola.
And we are so sorry we couldn't be in each of your individual houses tonight.
Physically impossible. Also, I'm sorry I'm being very serious.
It's got a news desk feel.
It does, doesn't it, with the dog?
Yeah, with the dog.
Because we are here to announce the winners for the comedy categories.
Yes, first up, the nominees for Best Sketch or Light Entertainment are...
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Comedy, Sketch or Light Entertainment category are Gruen Season 12, Tools and Boots for Tools, James Colley and Sophie Brahm. Reputation Rehab Season 1, Nick Kyrgios, the bad boy of tennis, Sophie Brahm, Melina Wicks and Zoe Norton-Lodge with Kirsten Drysdale. The Feed, Comedy Sketches 2020, Ben Jenkins, Alex Lee, Jenna Owen and Victoria Zerbst.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Ben Jenkins, Alex Lee, Jenna Owen and Victoria Zerbst for The Feed Comedy Sketches 2020. Congratulations.
Thank you so much to the Australian Writers Guild. We're just so honoured to be nominated alongside so many writers for whom we have so much respect.
You know, this really reminds me of something that my grandfather used to always say to me. He'd say, Ben, you and your friends will never win an AWGIE. And that was hurtful and strangely specific, but I guess we showed him.
And finally, we couldn't have made any comedy this year if not for the daily immune-boosting power shot known as Vitamin F. That's Vitamin Friendship. Thanks for the AWGIE!
Again, we've got to do that. That's sub. I know.
And now to the next category. But what if you liked your comedy with a bit more narrative, or say a situation?
Mixing it up, sure. Love a good situation.
Well, good news, because the next category is the best situation or narrative comedy.
The nominees are
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Comedy, Situation or Narrative category are Aftertaste Season 1, The Beauty and the Terroir, Matthew Bate. Fisk Season 1, Portrait of a Lady, Penny Flanagan with Kitty Flanagan. Retrograde Season 1, Episode 3, Declan Fay. Why Are You Like This Season 1, The Pressures of Late Capitalism, Mark Bonanno, Naomi Higgins and Humaira Marbud.
And the AWGIE Award goes to
Mark Bonanno, Naomi Higgins and Humaira Marbud for Why Are You Like This Season 1, The Pressures of Late Capitalism. Congratulations! Ow!
Hi, thank you so much for our award for our episode, what's it called? The Late Pressures of Capitalism, which is obviously about the wage gap and, Hum getting something stuck up her vagina. I mean, Mia.
We'd really love to thank our script producer, Nikki Aiken, and also other collaborative writers who worked on the series with us, Michelle, Vid, Cole and Phil.
And we'd also like to thank our directors, Adam and Jesse, and our producer, Sarah, who is the youngest woman of colour on Earth.
Yes, let's get more young comedy shows going because we love making one and I'd love to see what other people in this country can do.
Thank you for the award for Best Writers Ever. Thank you.
That's not what... okay.
It's good, it is.
No, don't. Cut it.
Hi everyone, I'm deeply honoured to present this award. The Australian Writers Guild Dorothy Crawford Award for Outstanding Contribution to the Profession and the Industry. And this year the recognition goes to internationally acclaimed artistic director and playwright, Wesley Enoch. Wesley has been my mentor, colleague and friend for over 30 years. Early in our career, in 1995, we worked together to create The 7 Stages of Grieving, a play about resilience and strength. Wesley has always said that The 7 Stages of Grieving is not only a blueprint for a production, but it's a plan to change the human heart of our nation. And this year, 25 years on, the play has been honoured with a contemporary reimagining from the Sydney Theatre Company. It's been brilliant to see Wesley direct and write some of Australia's most iconic theatre productions. He wrote and directed The Sunshine Club for the Queensland Theatre Company, winning the 2000 Matilda Award. Later, he devised and directed a new adaptation of Medea by Euripides called Black Medea. His play, The Story of the Miracles at Cookie's Table, won the 2005 Patrick White Playwrights Award. A brilliant, talented director, Wes has worked with all the major Australian theatre companies, picking up awards and accolades along the way with his long list of productions, including the original stage production of The Sapphires by Tony Briggs. In 2000, he directed the landmark production Stolen by Jane Harrison, which toured Australia, London and Tokyo. Wesley has held the position of artistic director across various organisations, including the Queensland Theatre Company and most recently, the Sydney Festival. A Quandamooka man from Minjerribah. Across his career, Wesley has considered and reflected on the broadest abstract themes of Indigenous life. He has created exceptional, evocative theatre with First Nations people at its heart and provoked audiences to think in different ways. He is known in the industry for his leadership, sensitivity, and endless goodwill. It is with enormous love and pride that I present the Dorothy Crawford Award for Outstanding Contribution to my dear friend, playwright Wesley Enoch.
A big thank you for this amazing recognition and award. It's difficult because awards, you don't expect them, you don't seek them in many ways. You just go about your business, and there are so many people out there who are going about their business, writing stories, making sure that those untold stories or neglected stories are being told. And I've had an amazing opportunity as a writer and as a director and as a facilitator to help those stories find a platform. When I've been looking around at why this award might be given to me, I kind of look at some amazing artists and opportunities that I've been able to platform, and some of the recognition for the voices I've been able to bring to the stage, the screen, to the country. And I really want to thank people for acknowledging that, respecting that, recognizing that. Mostly because so many of us go about our business, go about doing what we do in a kind of isolation, that the creative process is very much our own world. We set up this world and we want to share it with others. And there's a kind of wonderful isolation that's come out during this COVID period. And I've found that my introvert and my extrovert have been in conversations more in this last 2 years than have been for a long time. And I'm interested in what that conversation might mean. I haven't written for a little while because I've been focusing on other things, and this award is making me go, well, maybe I should look at what I'm doing well and what I can do better and help push myself to be worthy of an award like this. So thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Leah Purcell. I'm a Go-Gungri Waka Waka Murray woman, and it is my pleasure to be with you to present the theatre categories for the AWGIE Awards. I am currently in northern New South Wales filming The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart with the phenomenal Sigourney Weaver. In 2017, my play The Drover's Wife won 3 AWGIE Awards. They include Best Stage Play, the David Williamson Prize for Excellence in Australian Theatre Writing, and the Major Award. It is my pleasure tonight to, I forgot to mention that that play is now a major motion picture and will be released in May 2022. The first category this evening is for Theatre for Young Audiences, and the nominees are:
the nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Theatre for Young Audiences category are Claire Della and the Moon, Jamie Hornsby with Ellen Graham, Magic Beach, Finnegan Crookemeyer.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Jamie Hornsby with Ellen Graham for Claire Della and the Moon.
Thank you so much for this incredible honour. Of all the shows I've ever worked on, Claire Della and the Moon is probably the one that I'm the most proud of, so this is a really special moment. I'd like to thank Shannon Rush, our incredible director. Thank you for all the cuts. Stephanie Fisher, our wonderful puppet maker. Mark Oakley, our lighting wizard. Our stage management team of Claire Guerin and Grace Calabretto. I'd like to thank Joshua Maxwell for all his help. To the legends at Slingsby for giving us the keys to the hall and letting us develop this show in the first place. To Simon Andrews for his consultation on the script. And most of all, to my fearless co-creator Ellen Graham. Couldn't have done it without you. I'd love to congratulate Finnegan Krockenmeyer, who I've been admiring for years, and I can't really believe that we've been nominated alongside. But most of all, I'd like to thank you, all of you who support new Australian writing. Thank you so much.
And now for the Community and Youth Theatre category.
From all the entries, only one script was selected by judges to be nominated. And that nominee is therefore the winner of the Community and Youth Theatre category.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Donna Hughes for Trackers.
If this video is being played right now, it means I've won an AWGIE, which is a huge honour. Thank you to the Guild and the judges for nominating my play Trackers, which is a technological thriller for young people. A big thank you to the drama team at St Hilda's Anglican School for Girls for seeing the value in supporting new work and for charging me with the opportunity to create challenging, strong and nuanced roles for young women. I'd particularly like to thank the head of productions, Sharon Kiley, and her impressive team, Erin Hutchinson, David Spooner, Sally Phipps, Nina Aldous North and Lisa Andrews. Finally, to the incredible student cast, who proved to everyone that you should never talk down to or underestimate what young people can achieve. Thank you.
And now for the Music Theatre category.
From all the entries, only one script was selected by judges to be nominated. And that nominee is therefore the winner of the Music Theatre category.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Alana Valentine for Notre Dame.
Thank you very much. This award means a great deal to me. As you can see, I have a paper model of Notre Dame Cathedral, which I made as part of my research for this music theatre work, which was to be performed with Brandenburg Orchestra. It never made it to the stage because of COVID, but I would like to thank Paul Dyer and Noel Staunton from Brandenburg for their faith in me. I'd also like to thank Hugh Ronzani, who was the composer who wrote, along with much of the French Baroque music that was going to accompany this script, a finale, an original finale, which I think was absolutely sensational. It would be a tragedy never to hear Hugh's work on the stage, and an AWGIE Award-winning script, Paul and Noel. I hope that you could do worse than to bring it to the attention of your audiences. Thank you so much to the AWGIE judges for judging this on the script alone. This is a great honour for me.
And finally, the nominees for the stage category.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Stage category are Cursed, Cody Bedford. Hecate, Kylie Bracknell, Kajil Brakaran with Dr. Clint Bracknell. Sunshine Supergirl, The Yvonne Goolagong Story, Andrea James. Wanangata, Angus Serini.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Cody Bedford for Cursed.
Congratulations to all the nominees. My mother always said that I was always the bridesmaid, never the bride. So if I have won this award, I've broken a curse of its own. Thank you to Belvoir Street Theatre and the Balnays Foundation for supporting the writing of this play and supporting new voices and Australian works. And thank you to all the crew at Belvoir, in particular Louise and Dom, for being there as a life coach, really. Thank you to the Mad Sea Dangerous director Jason Klarwine and all the actors for your generous input into all the characters, and of course to my family, Mum, Annie Imelda, Matt, Lizzie, Ellie Lewis for inspiring this play. Thank you for sending your love from WA, even though you never got to see this play, hopefully soon. And thank you to Pocket for supporting me throughout all my writing blocks and helping me get through it. And of course, lovingly to my nan, who I dedicated this play to. She is gone, but she gave me the gift of writing and the curse of writing, so thank you.
take time to notice all that I see. And after I've come so far, you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. But life is a vision, that's how it should be. The world is a canvas, and the choices are free. At the end of the journey, where all is complete, they'll all wonder where I've gone, but you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. We'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. Ooh, we'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. We'll fly away, fly away, fly away.
Hi everyone, Claudia Carvin here. We're in the Bump Season 3 story room, working hard. All the writers are trying to get a AWGIE nom next time round, fingers crossed. But I am here to announce the feature film categories. The nominees in the feature film adaptation category are...
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Feature Film Adaptation category are Baby Teeth, Rita Kalniai. The Dry, Harry Cripps and Robert Connolly.
The AWGIE Award goes to Harry Cripps and Robert Connolly for The Dry.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you. It is such an honour to be recognised by the Australian Writers Guild. I want to thank Robert Connolly, who's a genius, the producers Bruna Papandreou, Steve Utensky, Jodie Madison, and of course Eric Banner, and a fantastic cast and crew. And obviously none of this would have been possible without such a wonderful book written by the very talented Jane Harper. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much to the AWGIEs, the Writers Guild, but particularly to Jane Harper for her wonderful book, my co-writer Harry Cripps and Samantha Strauss, who did some wonderful work on the script, and our producers Bruna, Jodie and Steve. Bruna brought me this book to adapt. It was a real gift in my career. Thank you for the award, it's wonderful. Thank you.
And here are the nominees in the feature film original category.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Feature Film Original category are Falling for Figaro, Ben Lewin with Alan Palmer. Here Out West, Nisreen Amin, Bina Bhattacharya, Matthias Bowler, Claire Cow, Arka Das, Dee Doan, Von Patiag, and Tien Tran. Nitram, Sean Grant. The Furnace, Roderick McKay.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Sean Grant for Nitram.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for this. It's a shame we couldn't all be there together celebrating after a tough couple of years, but hopefully next year. I wanted to start by just giving a shout out to the AWG and Shane for pressuring the government and trying to force them into creating some sort of legislation that has streamers use their revenue for creating Australian content, as without this happening, I fear for all of our futures. Regarding NitRam, I'd just quickly thank the cast and crew, in particular Justin and Caleb, who did the heaviest of lifting, my producers Nick and Verge, my team of Catherine and Craig, my family and friends, and of course my wife, Annabelle, for her love and support.
I'm delighted this evening to present the Australian Writers Guild Lifetime Achievement Award to screenwriter, producer, and my good friend, Roger Simpson. One of the Guild's most prestigious honours, the Lifetime Achievement Award, celebrates the accomplishments of our most revered and admired writers. It recognises those whose work has achieved both critical and commercial success and who have made significant contributions to our film and television culture. Few meet the above criteria so well as Roger. Born in Dunedin and originally a lawyer by trade, Roger started in the Australian industry in the 1970s at Crawford's, writing on classic cop shows, including Homicide and Division 4. It was here that he met Roger Le Mesurier, the other Roger, with whom he would go on to create one of Australia's most respected, productive, and enduring creative partnerships. The two Rogers, or as I used to call them, the gentlemen producers. The creator of no less than 17 series for television, Roger's writing credits are impressive and varied, including early works such as Hunter's Gold, I Can Jump Puddles, Squizzy Taylor, and Snowy. In 1997, Roger crafted the cult series Good Guys, Bad Guys. He followed that with the Nine network police drama Stingers, which ran for 8 seasons, Something in the Air for the ABC, and the sci-fi odyssey Silver Sun. In 2006, following Le Mesurier's retirement, Roger built his own production company, Lone Hand, and created and wrote the top-rating Foxtel Showtime series, Satisfaction. I first met Roger when I was cast in the miniseries Snow, and I remember having so many discussions about our Kiwi roots, the South Island, whitebaiting, which is a favourite pastime of Roger's, and we became good friends, a friendship that has lasted nearly 30 years. Roger is kind and funny and is one of the cleverest humans I've ever met. When Snowy was nearing completion, I jokingly asked him to write something for me, and it was only a matter of months later when he and Roger Le Mesurier took me to lunch and told me about a character that he had created for me, a character called Jane Halifax. She was to be the first female forensic psychiatrist ever portrayed on television, and I was honoured to be given a role that would become a turning point in my career. Halifax FP ran for 7 years, producing a record-breaking 21 telemovies, 30 nominations and 9 wins at the AFI and AWGIE Awards, and in 2020 received a further 5 nominations at the ACTOR Awards, including Best Drama for the series revival, Halifax Retribution. A Guild member since the 1970s, Roger's leadership and mark on the industry cannot be overstated. He has served on the boards of the Film Finance Corporation and Film Victoria, and has thrice stood as Vice President of the Australian Writers Guild, where he campaigned fiercely for writers' rights and opportunities. In 1997, he was awarded the Guild's highest honour, receiving the Richard Lane Award for outstanding service and dedication to the Australian Writers Guild. He has won 8 AWGIE Awards, 2 Logies, 4 AFIs, and an Astra Award. And it is with enormous pleasure that I add to this impressive list, presenting Roger with the 2021 Australian Writers Guild Lifetime Achievement Award, and it is thoroughly deserved. Congratulations, Roger.
Thank you, Rebecca. Actually, this is virtual Rebecca, courtesy of last year's ACTOR Awards, which Rebecca couldn't attend either because of COVID. So they gave us a cardboard cutout to put at the table, which was very, very thoughtful, but it's not the same thing. So in congratulating tonight's winners and nominees, you also have my commiserations. A virtual event is not what you deserve. What you deserve is a full-scale dinner and piss-up with your family and friends in front of all your colleagues. So as a newly installed Lifetime Achiever, I promise I will do everything in my power to make sure that you are properly acknowledged in person at the next real event. Finally, I would like to thank everyone associated with this award, with previous winners Laura Jones, Craig Pearce, Sue Smith and Andrew Knight. I am truly in spectacular company. So thank you, I am truly humbled. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. I don't remember her as that hairy. Have a good night.
Hi, I'm Eric Banner. Thanks to you, Pack of Legends, for your amazing work this year. Where would us actors be without writers? Ad-libbing for 120 pages. No one wants to see that, quite frankly, let's be honest. I'm here tonight to present the winners in the television series, miniseries and telemovie categories. And the nominees in the television series, miniseries in the 4 hours or more category are...
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Television Series or Miniseries category are 5 Bedrooms Season 2, 27 Weeks, Michael Lucas and Christine Bartlett. The Great Season 1, A Pox on Hope, Tony McNamara and Gretel Vella. The Great Season 1, The Beaver's Nose, Tony McNamara. Wakefield Season 1, Episode 5, Sam Meikle. Wentworth Season 8, The Unknown Terrorist, Kim Wilson.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Tony McNamara for The Great Season 1, The Beaver's Nose.
Thank you, Australian Writers Guild. It's an honour and very exciting to win this. I want to thank everyone on The Great, really, the writers, the directors, my great friend and partner in The Great, Marion McGowan, our fabulous studio, MRC, and Hulu, who are always a massive support to me and the show. Thank you very much.
And here are the nominees for television, telemovie, or miniseries 4 hours or less.
The nominees for Most Outstanding Script in the Television, Telemovie, or Miniseries category are A Sunburnt Christmas, Elliot Vella, Gretel Vella, and Timothy Walker. New Gold Mountain, Peter Cox, Yolanda Ramke, Benjamin Law, Greg Waters, and Pip Carmel.
And the AWGIE Award goes to Peter Cox, Yolanda Ramke, Benjamin Law, Greg Waters, and Pip Carmel for New Gold Mountain.
All right, hi. Just doing a speech into my phone for an award that we may not have won. I'm just sort of imagining it, I suppose, at the moment, which is weird, but there it is. So anyway, but thanks, really, from me and on behalf of the writers, Yolanda Ramke and Ben Law and Greg Waters and Pip Carmel. And so thanks from me to you guys. You know, you're great. And thanks to Corey Chen and Kylie Dufresne and everybody at Goalpost and SBS and all three, really. It's just the films and TV and shows that I love are really just shows that, made me feel a little less alone and a bit less freakish and weird for a minute. So, hopefully if this show has done that for a few people, for a while, then that's a victory as far as I'm concerned. So that's my speech. Thanks so much, everybody. All right, bye.
The David Williamson Prize comprises $100,000, $20,000 to the writer and $80,000 to the theatre company that produced the winning play, so that company can go on to commission, develop and produce another new Australian play. This unique award is only made possible by the incredible generosity of David and Kristen Williamson and Shane and Catherine Brennan. As last year's proud recipient of the prize, I'm delighted to announce that the judges of the award have selected Claire Della and the Moon by Jamie Hornsby, with Ellen Graham as the winner of the 2021 David Williamson Prize. This play was also the winner in the Theatre for Young Audiences category. It is exciting that the David Williamson Prize this year has recognised and rewarded a small South Australian independent theatre company, The Madness of Two, which is a new company founded by Ellen Graham and Jamie Hornsby. The prize-winning work, Claire Della and the Moon, brings the vital topics of mental health, depression and anxiety in young people to the stage. Congratulations to the winners.
Hello, I'm Claire Pullen and I'm your new Executive Director at the Australian Writers Guild. It is an honour and a privilege to represent you, our members, as our guild enters its 60th year. We have battles ahead, for fair reform and regulation for our screen industry, to rebuild for our playwrights as theatres recover from the impact of COVID-19. Battles to deliver for members who are part of the rapid growth of the game development sector. Battles to advocate for our jobs and our voices as part of a growing and thriving industry. I am delighted this evening to talk about supporting our playwrights by announcing the Shane and Catherine Brennan Prize for Playwriting. We invite all members to submit an unproduced play for consideration. A panel of judges will award a winner next year with a $10,000 prize. Longlisted writers will share in a pool of $50,000 in prize money. This wonderful opportunity is made possible through the generous contribution of Shane and Catherine Brennan. Playwrights, get writing. Our website and socials will have all the details. Entries close at the end of January. Don't just get writing, encourage your playwright friends to join our guild. Not just for the competition, but to share in the benefits and solidarity that come with guild membership and joining our community of writers. This is not just for playwrights, but for all members. We are stronger together, and the more writers join our guild, the better off we all are. And now to our major award. Acknowledging the enormous contribution our playwrights make to our cultural landscape, I am pleased to announce the winner of the AWGIE Major Award, Cody Bedford for Cursed. Congratulations, Cody, and to all our winners and nominees this evening. Thank you, everyone, and see you soon.
You know what? Some of those writers looked pretty good.
Yeah, they scrub up well, don't they?
Yeah.
But you know, us writers are a bit like Cinderella though, aren't we? You know, the clock strikes midnight and we turn back into pumpkins.
Oh, yes.
But for one shining moment, we looked okay.
Yeah, passable.
Not bad.
Well, good night.
Good night, Shane.
Who's Shane?